It's a large project, district scale. There's the breccia pipe deposit is a 300,000 ounce deposit. We were, as you mentioned, we were drilling on an extension, about a 600 meter long structural trend, mineralized corridor, so to speak.
Welcome viewers tuning in to Assay TV. We're with Avidian Gold today, who are exploring a range of precious and critical metals assets situated across North America. And I'm catching an update on their projects with Steve Roebuck, who is CEO of Avidian Gold. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Adam. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for speaking with us today. So let's start with the good news and an update from your projects in Alaska, your breccia pipe deposit. You've been drilling an extension zone there. Take us through what's been happening.
Okay, so it's the Golden Zone project. It's in south central Alaska. Important to always note is its proximity to the highway and to rail and infrastructure. That's all very, very critical. It's a large project, district scale. There's the breccia pipe deposit is a 300,000 ounce deposit. We were, as you mentioned, we were drilling on an extension, about a 600 meter long structural trend, mineralized corridor, so to speak. We had some drill holes from 2017, 2018 that looked very encouraging. So last year we came in and we plunked down 17 more drill holes into it. We used a reverse circulation drill. It was a fairly light drill in terms of its depth of penetration, maximum depth about 150, 175 meters. So what we were trying to do is just really determine, the frequency, the consistency, and the depth. And we were extremely pleased with the results. So yeah, we can get into that detail.
Yeah, certainly. This is exciting. Can you take us through some of the results that you found that you've got back from the assay lab? Yeah,
well, yeah, we in those 17 holes that we drilled on the Mayflower extension zone, we released the first 8, which is the most northeasternmost 300 meters. And we were seeing numbers. I'm just going to quote them exactly: 46 meters of 1.08 grams, including 15 meters of 2 gram material, 7.62 meters of 1.55, 50 meters of 0.7 grams. And I think what was impressive with what we were seeing is that some of these were fairly wide horizons of mineralization. And another thing that we saw was that some of the drill holes were having multiple horizons. So you get one hit, and then you go another 20, 30 meters, and then you get a second and sometimes a third mineralized horizon. So that's really encouraging. And it's fairly well constrained into about a 75 meter wide horizon projected up to surface. And that's what we're calling the mineralized corridor. And what's really exciting is that it's open at depth, and it continues off to the northeast. So there's a great ability to continue to drill and expand to depth and to the northeast, and add a significant amount of mineable near surface ounces of gold. So this is really important development for Avidian.
Excellent. Could it go deeper? Obviously you're still waiting on some other results, but is there potential here to extend beyond what you've already found?
Yes, absolutely. To the northeast is especially because there's a mineralized trend that takes us right to the northern property boundary, but that's actually like 3 to 5 kilometers away. So everything and the mineralized trend through breccia pipe heading to the northeast and the southwest is now 19 kilometers long. So there is huge potential on the project. So you've got your base, your anchor with the breccia pipe, but it's time now to move from that and expand to the southwest and expand to the northeast. And that's what we see ourselves doing in 2022. Now, you just touched upon something important, is that there's more drill holes still to come. There's 9 more drill holes on the Mayflower extension zone. Perhaps the more southwest 300 meters of that. So getting closer actually to the breccia pipe. We hope to be able to put this news out in the next couple of weeks. And then there was another target tested called Copper King, which is about 5 kilometers to the south. Slightly different model altogether, but there'll be news flow continuing from Avidian over the next month or so. As these numbers become available, we'll put them out to the market.
Excellent. And just on Copper King, you've got results you're waiting on from
Yes.
The lab as well. Excellent.
Yes. Yeah. There's approximately 10 holes that we put scattered around over about a 2-kilometer trend. So again, following up from drill holes and trenching that was done in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 didn't really happen. 21, we're back in drilling. So yeah, more results to come. And if you look at the project on that macro scale, some of our prospecting, again, was really successful in our Southwest prospects. We made a new discovery called CC. We followed up, did some more work around some of the more recent discoveries. And what that does is it really gives a very large project area. And again, that 19-kilometer mineralized trend, that's substantial. And you know, it's early days yet for some of these, but when you fly out there and you see consistent gold, copper, silver mineralization over that big a trend, it's very, very encouraging, knowing that no one has done any previous exploration on these areas. So that's it's new terrain for us and for the market. And this is very much when you're in the Tintina Gold Belt and you're in the intrusion-related gold systems, and the Tintina Gold Belt is one of the most prolific gold belts in the world, well over 150, maybe 200 million ounces of gold. This is, you know, elephant country, and I think that there's much more to be discovered on this project.
It's excellent. Okay, we look forward to getting some updates on those results when they're coming through. Let's move on to some of your other projects. Can you give us an update about High Tide, which is in Newfoundland and Labrador?
Correct. So High Tide, we are, Avidian is a majority shareholder, and we are doing, this company is going public shortly. So this has been a process that started, you know, in September, October of last year. We're hoping to wrap it up before Christmas. Things have got a little bit delayed. You know, we're thinking that the end of January is a bit optimistic, perhaps February at this point in time. You know, you're working with somebody else's timeline, the Ontario Securities Commission, the Canadian Securities Exchange. They've got their process. They've got their, you know, staffing limitations. There's, you know, only so much that can happen, you know, in these times. That's it's very different. But we are, you know, approaching the close of that. When that company goes public, we've already got a treasury of over $3 million already in the treasury. We've got a separate board and management team set up for that. We've got 2 fantastic projects. As you mentioned, Labrador, that's our iron ore project that sits right beside the Carol Lake mine, which is a Rio Tinto operation, IOC Rio Tinto. It's the largest iron ore project or mine, pardon me, in Canada, roughly 23 million tons per year. It's in the Southern Labrador Trough. You're adjacent to all the infrastructure. Again, this is critical. Infrastructure is critical to project development. So you've got rail to port, hydroelectric power, airports, workforce. This is brownfield style exploration. You're in a camp that is an established mining camp that stretches from Labrador into Quebec. So everything's in place for success, and this is really critical. So that's important. We hope to be able to get, once our listing is up, get running and start to drill there as early as March. Come up with, you know, this is a project that's already got 5,200 meters of drilling, 22 holes. We look to, you know, really, we know where the iron is. We have very good indication of, you know, we can hit 500 million tons, 600 million tons, you know, 30-odd% iron. That's typical for this belt. You're in that range. You beneficiate, which is upgrading it to a concentrate into a pellet. So we look towards, and that sells at a premium, 66, 67, 68%. And iron right now is hot. We're up $130 a ton. I mean, it came off of that peak from last year, which was never sustainable, but iron's in a really good position right now. So we look to get drilling in March and release a maiden resource and then move into a PEA type mode. So we would, really put a real shine on that project this year. So it's not something that's going to drag on for a long period of time. And then just across the border in Quebec, we have the Lac Pegma project, which is a copper, nickel, cobalt deposit. And I worked on that in 1996. I drilled the discovery hole. I basically have been sitting back and waiting for that opportunity. It's presented itself. We are now on the verge of getting that project up and running. We did field operations last year. We did geophysics. We resampled the historic drill core. So that one's ready to go as well. So you've got two incredibly, good timing in terms of these projects, the commodities, the right commodity mix. We move these projects forward. So high tide coming public shortly. An important thing to remember on this one, Adam, because Avidian is a large shareholder of high tide, we are going to do a distribution of 9.4 million shares to our shareholders. So if you are an Avidian shareholder or want to become one, the clock is running out. That distribution is going to happen as soon as the market, as soon as the Securities Exchange approves our listing. There's 5 days after that. After that, no free shares. Everybody, we distribute those shares about 17-to-1 ratio, and that's it. Two companies, gold in Alaska, and iron ore and battery metals in Eastern Canada. Two management teams, two companies. That's it.
It's excellent strategy, and clearly these projects can move fast once that does come through. You touched on the funding there as well. Could you just go into a little bit more on the funding there? Because you did a flow-through share structure, I believe, previously. You've got the funding in place to basically ramp these projects up as soon as that listing comes in, right?
Absolutely. So we've got about $2.2 million in flow-through, and for people who may not know, that is used we raise that money in Canada. It's used in Canada for Canadian exploration companies and only for drilling and studies, etc. Costs related exclusively to exploration, not marketing. We also have $1.1 million in hard dollars, which allows us to do marketing and participate in Assay TV and other venues. So that gives the company flexibility. So we are in a good position. We are not coming out of the gate and then looking for money right away. We are going to just, get out there and start working hard and delivering results very quickly for that. So no financial requirements required over the short term. Longer term, of course, things change. And we look at other opportunities in this district of Quebec and Labrador, in the Southern Labrador Trough. Largely, there's opportunities for us to do more with what we've got up there. I think this is just the beginning for high tide, and we look for other opportunities to expand our project portfolio in the vicinity.
Yeah, certainly. It seems that it's quite complementary in the portfolio with the metals and the projects that you've got. Is that going to be the strategy going forward? Then you talk about other projects, keeping an eye out there. You're sort of agnostic as to the metals. It's going to be working.
You want complementary metals, but an opportunity is an opportunity. On the copper, nickel, cobalt, those are all important battery metals. Something that would fit with that would be good, or another iron ore project. People have knocked on our door, introducing us, and I look at it the other way around, is that there's been several large companies that are very well known have knocked on our door and asking us, what are you doing with these projects? And we say, give us time, let us get public, let us get rolling, and then we'll talk after that. This is critical. The nickel especially, it's remarkable. The demand, I think you may have seen, the prices are starting to move on copper and nickel at this point in time. So it's good timing for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the jurisdictions are very important to have these assets in and to be bringing them online, given the pressure globally, to have sustainable, more locally sourced, but also, environmentally sound projects that you're going to create compared to where some of the nickel projects are and where they can come from.
Absolutely. and it's even more favorable when you take a look at the Lac Pegma project, Adam. It's located on a Hydro-Quebec power line. Literally, the project is cut through by a Hydro-Quebec. So it gives us really good access down there, overland. But, you know, if this becomes something more than an exploration project and goes towards development, well, you know, having hydroelectric power right at your door, you know, that's checks a lot of boxes in terms of project development costs, but in terms of ESG and your, you know, a lighter impact, how you can, you know, electrify all of your mining equipment, how you can, you know, your processing, etc. It's a huge advantage to this project. So you're absolutely right.
Yep. Excellent. Well, look, Steve, you mentioned, you know, Rio being close to one of your projects in Labrador. Talking about other mining companies, what companies might you compare Avidian to, for instance?
Great question. Comparing Avidian to maybe a mining company, I mean, I think we're you know, at the exploration stage. So I'm gonna look at that and maybe not so much a comparison, but who I draw inspiration from.
Right.
And there's two companies in particular that I like. So, you know, in the Fairbanks district, just at the center of the mining, you've got, you know, the Fort Knox mine. That's Kinross. They're the kingpins of that territory. And to the north of them, and our project Amanita is just to the south, and Amanita Northeast is just to the east. So just to the north of them, though, however, there's a company called Free Gold Ventures. And Free Gold has been exploring their Golden Summit, I think that's the name of their project, for many years. And they, you know, they would raise some money, they'd drill some holes, they'd do the best they can. And in 2020, they drilled one hole, and everything changed for them after that. They drilled, I think, about 150, 175 meters, about 3.5 grams material. And it's because they'd stuck to it and they'd done their work and they'd be kept on working and plugging away. And the market gave them no love for so long. At the time when they drilled that drill hole, their stock was 4 cents. 4 cents. Well, in a couple of weeks to a couple of months after that, they were trading at about $1.50 plus. So that changed the trajectory of that company forever. They were able to raise money in a non-dilutive way. They rewarded their shareholders big time. People who had stuck with them and believed in the management team and believed in the geology and the proximity to where they are. It's exactly the situation that we've got in Fairbanks with our Amanita project. We're just on the south side. We've got some tremendous potential, near surface gold, and we haven't even started to drill deep yet. So that's one I draw inspiration from, going from 4 cents to $1.50. Now at Golden Zone, I again draw inspiration from a company called Nova Minerals. Nova Minerals has done wonderful work at their Estelle project, which is again in the Tintina Gold Belt, a little bit to the southwest of us. I think they came to the project around 2017, 2018. And I think they were, you know, they're scuffling along again, no love in the market. They were trading at 6 cents. Well, I guess just, you know, sometime last year, they were trading at $2.20. And they had some real success. You know, there was very similar to what we've got at Golden Zone. They had a small deposit. They did the geophysics, they did the geochemistry, they did all the work that we are currently doing at our Golden Zone. You can't cut corners in this business. You can't hope and expect to be, you know, have a miracle stock. Sometimes you just got to do the work, don't cut the corners, and you will be rewarded. And again, you know, they've gone from 6 cents to 2.20 over a few years. And I think they drilled a hole last year, 130 meters at 10 grams. Hello, where do you see that? You know, from surface, 400 meters, 3.5 grams. That's incredible. But it didn't come overnight. They rewarded their shareholders and again, changed the trajectory of that company forever. So I draw inspiration from peers who are working in Alaska, who are working in the Tintina Gold Belt, who have stuck to it, done the hard work, done the heavy lifting, and here they are now. And I look at the company where we are in Fairbanks and where we are at Golden Zone. Those are my two parallels. So if you want to take a deeper dive, take a look at Nova Minerals, take a look at Free Gold Ventures, and then take a hard look at Avidian Gold. And you will, see a lot of similarities. We're trading at 8.5, 9 cents Canadian right now, Adam. We're scuffing along at the bottom right now. There's lots of upside. I got drill results going to be coming all the way through February. We're going to be setting up for another exploration program. I think we've definitively, answered the question: is there more gold? Can you drill off more? Yes. On that Mayflower extension zone, we'll continue to do that. We'll drill deeper, further. We will be able to build up more ounces. And we're right beside infrastructure, the highway, the rail, and the power. These are all things that you need to succeed. And just, step back one bit further and look at the M&A landscape. The big companies are all looking for the same thing: is quality assets in quality jurisdictions close to infrastructure, something they can do with. And we tick all those boxes. So that's, I'll leave you on that. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Very inspirational. Thank you, Steve, for sharing the updates on Avidian's drilling and your quality assets. And we look forward to catching up again later in the year about some of the progress there.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Take care. Thank you for everyone.